Do you want help navigating the application or appeals process? Speak to your county veteran service officer or the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs State Service Office to see what's available to you and your family. You've served our country, now let us serve you. Visit veterans.nebraska.gov today. Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Live from Copple Chevrolet GMC Studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. Welcome to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome into Ticket Weeknights. I am Harrison Arns running the board. We have host of Speed and Power, Megan Walker, as always, as well as a special guest going to be coming in here in a little bit. Is a student athlete from the wrestling team. He's just getting off practice, actually, so I won't surprise who it is just yet, but keep in mind he will be coming in here probably in a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes or so. Kind of depends how long it takes to get down here. How long does it take to you to get down the station from
Depends how fast I'm driving. Usually between 9 or 11 minutes, so it's not too bad. Usually
Okay.
For practice, so yeah.
And again, if you guys want to join the conversation, Starter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. You can call in as well at the Honda of Lincoln hotline. Same number, 402-464-5685. And obviously, you've been busy as well. You had Big Tens. We talked about that before we got going here. Said it was a really fun time. Again, you're a freshman, your first time at Big Ten. So you can we'll go ahead and start at the beginning. Just that whole experience, kind of going there, the travel, and then just kind of figuring out. I'd imagine Big Tens too is a do I belong kind of moment because you're going up against the best in the Big Ten. So you can really start anywhere you want. Just how that whole process went for you.
Yeah, so we left Wednesday and we just came back yesterday night, like super late. So it was a lot of fun because that was my first time like going to the airport with my team, and that was honestly very chaotic. Like, everyone's trying to get their bags, like everyone's trying to like get a seat next to each other. And it was just crazy. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of good team bonding. The first day, Friday, I didn't compete. I only competed Saturday, but it was good. Like just hanging out. Like it was a great environment. And there was such a great facility that we were at. It was a 300 track. So like that was hard to adjust to because we usually like every track meet we've been to, it's been a 200 track. But yeah, we had some great things happen. We had a school record broken, which was not expected.
Who broke it?
So Nick Bryant.
Okay.
So was it the 800? Yeah, I think it was the 800.
I'll pull it up real quick.
It was the 800 or the 600. But he was not expecting to win. And the guy that beat him, and he got like a national record or something, got DQ'd.
No
and so
way.
out of a sudden, like Nick just won, and we were all so happy for him. But yeah, it was a great weekend. We had a lot of good things happen. The boys got second, and the girls I think got 10th. That was better than last year, so we're just making improvements. But yeah, it was a great weekend. Good team bonding.
Yeah, were you guys expecting this track team to be so strong as it is right now? Especially like I know we had some athletes. Obviously, we had the Showtime with Stocks here for a bit. I got to see Chris Ramsey and Nico quite a bit, and as like those guys were talking it up, it seemed like you had athletes, but to see especially the guys and the girls too at that, you guys continue to kind of climb the rankings. Obviously, Big Ten for the girls, you got 10th. It's an improvement. You probably would like to do better. But nonetheless, you guys are all improving. Did you expect that at the beginning of the year?
So we knew our boys were going to be really strong. Coming into Big Tens, we were expecting them to win, but like we did have some upset, which happens with track. Like, it's an on and off day. With our girls, we're rebuilding. Like, as we just had like a head coach situation, and we had a lot of people transfer, and like people are coming in. So we're just trying to rebuild the girls program. But yeah, we've really been improving, and we did better than we expected. But again, we had like upsets.
Yeah, and you guys got 8 actually, not 10th.
That's even better. That's way better.
Up a couple slots.
But yeah, I think they got 10th last year or something.
That could be. And then the guys got second. Do you remember what the guys got last year? Obviously, you weren't here. I can't remember. I got to look that up. But I know last year they were pretty strong too.
But yeah, we've always had such a good guys team.
And then from the text line, Don says, shout out Darius Luff on his redemption in the 60.
That was so amazing.
Really? You want to start? Yeah, tell that story for those who didn't get to see it.
In the prelims for hurdles, he is ranked 4th in the nation now. I think he was ranked 6th, but it was just so beautiful to watch. We were all freaking out. We were all jumping. Everyone was crying. Yeah, he got disqualified last year. I don't know if it was like he got out of his lane or something, but yeah, we were so happy.
I think it was a lane. I'm pretty sure that's what it was last year.
And then Brighton, who's another Nebraska track runner, got 2nd. So that just made like the day spectacular. Because yeah, we weren't expecting both to get such high positions, but yeah, it was an amazing race to watch.
Yeah, it sounds like everyone's kind of heading in the right direction as things are heating up. Because let's see here. Now, next time, Big Ten indoor championships are over. Now you got the NCAA Indoor Championships March 10th and March 11th.
Mhm. I
And
hope Till Steinfort, he's expected to do well at that.
okay.
He's ranked very high in the heptathlon, I think it is. But yeah, expecting that to go well. And our throwers are very strong.
Yeah, that's another thing. I know the Nebraska throwers is always really strong. What about the girl
It's insane.
throwers?
The girls sit.
Same
throwers are
thing?
insane. Yeah, we've got like Axelina, who's like spectacular, and yeah, we have a great team.
Okay, so how'd you perform? Obviously, you didn't perform day one. That was
Mhm.
kind of nice. Do you like having that day off at first, or were you kind of nervous? Like, I just want to go race.
Like part of me was like, oh, I wish I was out there because
Mhm.
like I just ran the 4x4 and like as a freshman, like being on the 4x4 team, I felt like pretty special. But I was really nervous, and like a lot of us were really nervous, especially for the 4x4, because like when you see your teammates have like a bad race or like something happens to them, like that kind of brings you down. And so like my teammates were kind of like we were all crying a little bit and like upset. And so right before the 4x4, we were all freaking out. But like just when you like get out there and you're running. And I had these 2 really fast girls from Michigan pass me, and it was just in my head, I was like, "Oh, crap." Like, my coach is gonna be so mad at me. And so, yeah, it was just an experience. Like, it's not running, like, at a normal track. Like, it just
Yeah.
feels like there's so much pressure. But, like, my mom flew out, and that was awesome. So, like, I felt great to be, like, supported. And, like, the Nebraska fans as well showed up. So it was just a great experience.
Was there an adjustment period running on a 300-meter track that take a little while to get used to? You said it's the first time you've done it.
Mhm.
Overall in your career, that's the first time you've met the 300?
So it was my freshman year in high school. I ran on a 300 track.
Okay.
And so, like, it wasn't my first time, but it was collegiately because, like, we run on bank tracks all the time or
Mhm.
200 tracks. So it was, like, way different because the stretches are gonna be longer. And so that was just, like, an adjustment to your mind. And you start at, like, a weird spot because, like, on a 200 track and a 400 track, like, you always end and start at the same spot in a 4x4. But,
Yep.
like, you're spread out everywhere on that 300 track. So, yeah, it was crazy.
They still got the banks on the 300?
No, so it's a flat track.
Okay, so it's also a flat track. That would take a while to get used to.
I know. And, like, we're just used to, like, always being banked. Like, so, yeah.
So,
it's
so
just
how do you
crazy.
time yourself and trying to figure out, like, the pace?
That's a really hard thing, like, especially for, like, those distance runners that
Yeah.
have to run, like, that awkward, like, thing, like, you can't pace yourself, really. It's just, like, you have to think about it, like, I'm just gonna go out hard this first, like, 200 and then we'll see how it goes the rest.
There's, like, people yelling, like, trying to, like, keep people on their times, like,
For, like, a 400, there's not, like, for the mile or, like, longer
Mm-hmm.
distances or the 800, like, that's when, like, coaches are doing that for you.
Okay, because yeah, that'd be I don't think I've ever had to run a 300. I don't know if I'd like that.
Yeah.
But like you said, you'd have to start and end in different spots too.
Yeah, it was just weird, but, yeah, we made it work. But the weird thing about track is that, like, everyone's yelling at you and, like, everyone's cheering for you, but, like, you don't hear them. Like, I feel like that when I run, like, there's only one person I hear.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's just weird. I don't know how it works. Like, is it for like that for other sports? Like, do you think you hear people when they're, like, cheering at you?
No, it's probably pretty similar. Like you think of basketball. Actually, I was just bringing in the show Austin, our producer back there. He was talking about his free throws and like when you're shooting free throws, like it's kind of the same thing. He went 7 for 8, by the way, to win the game for this team. So yeah,
Dang.
shout out Austin.
Way to go, man.
But yeah, you just kind of lock in. It's like you're not really all that noise is unless you're, you'd have to think of guys like Ben Simmons in the NBA that they're really snake bit. Like maybe people that have like a lack of confidence, but I can imagine that most sports you kind of just tune it out. Like I remember, obviously not collegiate track, but running track in high school, like on those miles, like I wasn't hearing anyone. Only thing I could hear was how tired I was. So
or like you're breathing, or I feel like there's just so much adrenaline going on that like everything like just zones out. Like my hamstring was bugging me this weekend, but like when I was running, I couldn't feel it. Till, like,
just numb.
afterwards. Yeah, exactly.
I think when you're running too, like there's things that you focus on. Like for me, especially like distance, was like the breathing, and I'm just so locked in on the breathing. Like I'm not, like you could be yelling at me, I'm behind or I'm ahead of time, and like I'm not gonna change my pace unless it's like the head coach. Then I probably will. But
my head coach screams at me, it freaks me out. Like, but like you can just like see their like body, like not like you can't see them, but like their form, and they're yelling at you, and it's like, oh crap.
Do you pick up the speed to get past them?
Like I feel like I am picking up speed, but like I'm not. You know,
Yeah.
like it's that last stretch where it's like 100 meters left to go, and you're just like dying, and like you feel like you're going so fast, but you're really not. So yeah.
So how'd you perform overall?
It was a PR for my split for my 400, so that was good. Yeah, it's like known that you're supposed to run faster on a 300 track than a 200 track,
Why is that?
because with a 200 track, like there's more laps, like there's more curves.
I
And
think
so
that bank would help you though, but I guess not.
no, it's just weird. Like that's what like I've always known is like a 300 track is faster than a 200 track. But again, like a 400 track is gonna be faster than a 200 and a 300 track.
Mm-hmm.
Track's just weird.
Yeah, I can imagine. I feel like the 300 would be because it's a flat track, turning, more than a 400. I feel like a 300 would be the slowest. That surprises me that it's faster. Either way, I don't know. That's gonna be weird to get used to. I'm glad I've never had to run up a 300. Do you like the indoor track meets more? Or are you excited to like be done with indoors?
I loved indoors. Like, it was fun. Like, it was my first like college indoors. But like, I keep hearing from everybody like outdoors is so much better.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it's gonna like be tough because like there's wind, like there's rain. Like, you just have to like acclimate to the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I
But so
don't
does
know.
everyone else, I guess.
Yeah.
So it kind of balances it out. But I will say, if
Exactly.
you got, especially if it's like, you know, here in Nebraska, those crosswinds, especially for like those long distance runners, like you can tell certain corners when they're turning and they hit that wall if it's blowing from the south or north, that can be brutal.
I know. We start hard workouts for these next 3 weeks because indoors in a month we go to Texas. So my coach is starting our practices outdoors, and we were just out there today, and he's like, "Okay, we have like 150 repeats tomorrow, and this wind's gonna like kill you." Like, oh my gosh, are you serious? So yeah, I'm not excited to be training outdoors because like indoors, like it's always either cold or hot, and like there's no wind.
Yeah.
And like I feel like my body's acclimated to like the not like tight air, but like the like closed air.
Yeah.
Because like right when you get into indoor season, like your body has to adjust and your lungs have to adjust for like running inside. So like I feel like I'm so acclimated that's gonna be weird to go outside.
I think it'd be a benefit though. Wouldn't it? As
True.
you'd imagine, because like in the inside there's less air.
There's no wind outside though. Inside though,
That's true.
like there's wind outside, and it was cold today. But
You
yeah,
thought it was cold today? It was
I
beautiful.
did. I came in with my coat. I was freezing.
What time did you practice?
It was like 2:30.
Okay, that's prime time. I'm surprised you said it's cold.
No, I just like wasn't used to it. You know, like I was in Ohio, and it was like really nice there. It
Really?
was super nice. Yeah, we were all on t-shirts and shorts. It was beautiful until it snowed the one day.
Hopefully not hanging out by East Palestine.
No. But yeah, we stayed at a really nice place. It was gorgeous. I can't imagine what it would look like in the summertime.
Really?
But yeah, it was a good weekend. Stayed up too late Sunday. No, yes, on Saturday night. But yeah, it was a good trip. Tired, recovering from it. But yeah,
So how was the journey? First airport. Airport stories are honestly my favorite from the athletes. It's always chaotic. And like there's multiple times with swimmers, they think they're gonna miss their flight and they run into the wrestlers. I think it was Reagan telling the story, and I think no, it was the gymnasts were there as well.
Mhm.
And I think it was the O'Hare in Chicago airport.
Yep.
And they were not realizing that the gymnasts were there as well. So they're like screaming at him to get on the plane. And it's like, no, we're not. We're not. And they're, oh, it's Kinsey Davis.
oh my
Like,
goodness.
but yeah, it's okay. So how was that airport? Did you have any nerves trying to get all your stuff and get going?
Well, like we have such a big team. Like I
Yeah.
think we only took like 30 of each, like boys and girls, but like we still have like coaches and staff and whatnot. So like everybody was just everywhere. Like you didn't know where everyone was.
Mm-hmm.
And a problem that we had struggled with is our first plane got delayed. And so then our next flight was leaving like right when we landed. So Cody, our like manager guy, called someone and was able to like stall it. And so we like stalled the plane for like 30 minutes. I felt so bad. But yeah,
Oh,
it was
really?
just crazy because we had one teammate who was sick. His name was like Lorenzo. And so no one could sit by him. And it was just weird. But it was a good like experience. Like I love airports, but like going with my team was like a little chaotic.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And we had a 3-hour layover yesterday. So like everybody got lost. And so then when it was time to board, like, no one was there. But it was a lot of fun.
We had a 3-hour
3-hour
layover, and then
layover.
the whole team just kind of dispersed to
Yeah,
their own
like
thing.
just went throughout the whole entire airport. Yeah, it was a good experience.
Do you like airports?
I love airports. Like I love watching people. That sounds really weird, but I love it.
No, that's fair. People watching. It's me. Like I like airports now because it reminds me of the mall. But now
Mhm.
malls are dead, so it's
Yeah.
kind of nice to have that. Like it really is. Like I used to love the malls,
Mhm.
and now like you go to a mall today, and the fountain half the time isn't even on or working. Airport's essentially just a big mall.
Literally. But it's like cool to see like everyone and like how they dress and like their uniqueness
Yeah.
and like where people are going. Because like you can meet like crazy people at the airport.
Mhm.
Like and hear their story and they'll spill like their whole guts to you. Yeah, I love airports.
I know. I still am just dying to get out of commercial. Like I'm hoping for those because like you get on a plane, they'll be like empty, and they'll let you slide up to first class. That'd be nice. That's my goal. I gotta get up there one time. And then the Husker Bowlers, you see, they got to take the private jet.
I wish track had like their own private jet. That would be
Too
so
big.
nice.
You got to be a small roster.
No, gotta kick some people off or something. But yeah. But football gets private jets, don't they?
Absolutely. And speaking of some of the student athletes, we got our special guest joining us right now. You can take that seat right there. Joining us is Gail Davidson from Nebraska Wrestling. And we were kind of talking. We weren't talking sports. We were talking airports before you got here. So yeah. Well, here, lower your mic real quick too. If you take this one, perfect. And if you tuck this elbow in, otherwise it'll just keep bouncing up on you. There you go. Perfect.
Welcome,
set.
Kale.
What's up, Megan?
How's it going?
It's all right.
It's all right. Wait, do wrestlers take private planes? Furchado?
No.
The only
Public.
reason the bowlers got to take the private jet is because
They're winners.
Yeah, and they have like I guess they gotta use it so many times, otherwise it's just a waste of money. So they had some flights. Private Alberts is like, hey, Husker Bowling champions,
Oh my
go ahead and
I
take
wish
it.
that was a track team, but Kale, welcome.
Thank you, Megan.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, you just got back from practice, right?
Kinda.
Okay.
Kinda. It's been a school day for me. A little bit about myself. I mean, where do I start?
You got on a great wrestling team. I'll tell you that much. Nebraska wrestling's incredible.
Yeah, and man, wrestling's hard. I'm gonna be straight up honest with it.
Well, real quick, what weight class do you wrestle in?
Heavyweight.
Heavy. Okay.
Heavyweight. Actually, you know what? Kind of real talk right now. My career just ended yesterday. And kind of because I'm at heavyweight.
Oh, really?
So heavyweight in wrestling, there's 10 weight classes, and you have the 9th weight class is 197, and then heavyweight is 285. And I weighed like 225 at the beginning of the year, and as the season has gone on, I've lost like 15, 20 pounds, and I also just found out that I tore my labrum, my hip is torn, and I've been having all kinds of complications with like pains of nerve striations going down my leg and having to readjust my hips every day, my hips being out of place. But finally had to make the decision with the results, and I just got a cortisone shot on Friday, I think it was. Are you guys familiar with the cortisone shot?
I'm familiar with it. I've never had to have one though.
Man, I didn't know what I was in for because guys on my team, like Mikey Labriola, Liam Cronin, shout out to them. They got Big Tens this weekend.
Yeah,
and they've got multiple cortisone shots because they got broken ribs, broken back, broken foot, broken this, broken that, and so I had a little hip injury. I'm like, you know what? I was kind of scared to do it, but I was like, if they can do it, they've got multiple ones, and they told me about it. I was like, I can do it. And it was kind of a desperation thing, trying to get ready for Big Ten.
Yeah, and I imagine the pain was getting pretty unbearable.
Yeah. I'm getting pain every step I take for the last 3 weeks, you know.
Wait, so did the shot hurt?
Well, let me talk about the shot.
It's a big needle, I'll put it that way.
Really?
Yeah, it's about that big. And so for the people not listening or you can't see it, it's about like 6-7 inches long. And I'm thinking, because all my pain is on my like right ass cheek, kinda mostly. And when I get in there, they say you gotta put it through the front, like on my hip, like right in that kind of muscle, like tendony part right there. And so I go ahead. I think in my head, I'm like, all the guys who've done on my team, they've done it before, so I'll do it. And I'm sitting there. They bring the needle over. I looked at the needle. I couldn't look at it when they're doing it. And they start pushing it in, and it gets like 2 inches in, and it hits something, and it stops. And so he has to like push on it, and it like pops through. And my whole body jerks because I feel this new pain I've never felt before, like the inside of my body getting stabbed through. And I jerk up, and then it gets to another point where it gets caught, and I jerk up again, and they're like, hey, you gotta lay down. You gotta quit moving because you're gonna mess up like the direction, because with the cortisone, it can't, they have to target cartilage, I think. It can't go in muscle. I had a cartilage issue with my labrum torn. So they had to get down there in between the femur and the pelvis.
Yeah, they're supposed to target joints to reduce
Yeah.
inflammation. So they got to get it. It's usually between joints. That's where they fire that thing, and then
Yes.
it's supposed to reduce the inflammation. So you can imagine you got to put that needle between a joint.
Yes.
That's what they're popping.
Man, it was crazy. It was only like 2 minutes though, but it didn't really help.
Really, still got that lingering pain.
Mm-hmm.
So is it just supposed to like stop it automatically?
It's
or, like,
just
no?
reduce inflammation. So it's not
Oh.
going to cure it.
Yeah, it doesn't do anything actually like productive and healing yet.
That's
Has no healing properties, but
So did you cry or something?
I was hyperventilating. I was sweating. I broke out in full body sweat. I was freaking out a little bit. I was yelling maybe a little bit. I don't know. There's a guy with me. You can ask him. It's kind of a blurry scene for me, but sadly, it didn't even help.
Dang.
That is a bummer. That's a lot of pain for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to try it out. I did it. I did it once. I know what a cortisone shot's like.
At least you know now next time, like maybe I won't go that route because it didn't work.
Yeah, no, actually, I won't do a cortisone shot again unless they put me out. That's the deal I came up with after that. I'm not doing it again unless I'm asleep.
So then what's the path to recovery look like, or do you know yet?
I don't know. I speak with my doctor tomorrow.
Okay.
So, with labrum, I don't know if you know this, but it doesn't heal on its own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna wait because now that I'm off the mat, because it's a heavy wear and tear sport. So I'm gonna wait a couple weeks, and if not, might have to probably get surgery on it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
How hard was it coming to that decision that you're gonna have to pull a plug on the season?
Man, it was last week was a really difficult week for me.
You're ranked 4th right now, right? I think in the AP as a team.
Yeah. I think we're third.
Okay, yeah. And then Iowa and Penn State, I think, are 1 and 2.
For tournament rankings, there's a tournament and dual rankings. But yeah, it was tough. But what it really boiled down to is I can wrestle injured and I can wrestle underweight. But wrestling injured and underweight, because at this point I've been losing weight too.
Yeah.
I'm like, my weigh-in against Purdue, I got on the scale, I was 215, and the other guy got on the scale and he was 284.9. So he had 70 pounds on me, and I've only lost weight since then. So it was like I got these 80, 70-pound weight differences, and I'm hurt, and head wasn't in it. But that's the reality of wrestling. Though. I mean, my ending is common.
Yeah.
I mean, like the nature of it, it's a brutal, difficult sport, and it usually ends brutally unless it doesn't.
Yeah, I will say that. I always, I think I've even talked to Megan about this. I think wrestlers are up there for like, that's got to be one of the most grueling sports.
Yeah.
Like even in high school, watching high school kids cut weight is insane. It's just like you're in a high school and like you're getting shredded out of your mind just so you can, wrestle in your class. And then especially for some of those big boys, they got to cut a lot of weight in high school. It's crazy. And like you said, the wear and tear you put on your body, like you wrestle for 2 minutes and you're dead. it's just a brutal sport.
Yeah, and when it comes to cutting weight, all kinds of things come with that. Like just your relationship with food,
Yeah,
and balancing that with everything else you got to balance with a student athlete. But like for me, it was the reverse. My struggle for the past 2 years has been that I don't weigh enough, that I'm not big enough. The exact opposite of everyone else on my team. So, and that, I mean, gaining weight, losing weight, they both have their own struggles, but they're also completely different.
especially when you're hurt trying to gain weight.
Yeah,
And then it's like, yeah, I can eat a lot of food and gain weight, but if I'm not gonna be able to work out, it's gonna be some bad weight.
Well, like, I don't know. When you eat a lot, when you got to eat a lot, it makes you tired.
Yeah.
Like especially when you're trying to put on weight, so you have to do the 1 to 2 workouts a day, and then you got to go to class if you got class that day, and then you got to do schoolwork if you got schoolwork to do, and then life.
Yeah.
And outside relationships and your family. And it is a lot, but I mean, I feel like that's the beauty of why anyone does this sport is to learn the lessons that you learn while you're doing it.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say with wrestling though, because like the cutting weight, it's like it can be done right, but it can also be done like very unhealthy, and you see it a lot in the UFC especially. I just really wish they could add more classes, just more weight classes would solve that problem so much. It drives me insane because like dudes are not healthy stepping on the scale sometimes just to get underweight, and then they step into the ring and they don't weigh in again. It's like he's over what he weighed in at.
Yeah,
it's just unhealthy.
Speaking right exactly on that, we can't so. Back in 1998 or 99, when creatine first came on the scene, a couple college wrestlers, like a couple, died because they didn't know how to use creatine, so they're cutting weight and using creatine and getting in the sauna with sauna suits and just doing like crazy weight cuts, and they died. So they banned they changed the weight classes that year, and they banned saunas for wrestlers during season. So if you get caught in a sauna, you lose a year of eligibility. And saunas only have healthy benefits to them, so that's kind of an aggravating thing.
Yeah, I don't
But
like
also,
that rule.
Yeah,
The sauna isn't what killed him. You know what I mean?
no, and it's just so like collegiate wrestling's so traditional, and like old school, kind of like gymnastics and swimming. I'm sure they got their own similar struggles like that because it's kind of a niche sport,
Yeah.
very traditional. The people holding it up are the people within it, which doesn't change too crazy much. But college wrestling is the only wrestling that doesn't have a weight class in between, like the 95, 97 and heavyweight.
Which is insane to me because a lot of
Yeah.
guys, especially wrestlers in the Big Ten, you think of Big Ten wrestlers in particular, you got some big dudes.
And what I'm saying, like for the sport, for the enjoyment of watching it, to make it more fun to watch, and to include more people in it, give it like a weight class in between heavyweight and 97, and then increase the heavyweight weight class. So, because there's a lot of guys that go play football, like linemen, like big 6'8",
and they got to put on that weight.
huge, like 350, 400-pound linemen that would wrestle and do both sports, like, and would do it. They can't, because if you're in football, you're not going to be cutting weight.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
no one's going to be doing that.
I can imagine I know a lot of coaches don't like their athletes doing multiple sports, but I think football is one where if you're offensive linemen were wrestlers, that's one you would take because it's like those are all skills that would go hand in hand playing offensive line. With that being said, though, we are getting up against the clock. We'll throw it to break here. This is Speed and Power with my special guest, Cale Davidson, as well. We'll go to break. Be right back right here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Come see the state's largest display of John Deere equipment at Acres Ag and Turf Expo. And supply will be on hand to discuss technique from tillage and planting to application and harvest. So don't miss the full lineup of John Deere mowers and compact tractors. Join us at the Lincoln Lancaster Event Center March 8th and 9th. Go to acres.com to request your free tickets today.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated by a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman easy. I felt like I walked out Starter Heyman with the ring was going to make loud say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring, and I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back here for sure.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Hey there.
Hi, honey.
Uh-oh.
Remember we told Jamie and Mike about Liberty First Credit Union? How great their checking account and car loans are, the amazing service we get, and how we love being members?
Yeah.
Well, they took our advice. Jamie said how easy it was to move all their accounts and become members. Now they say they're banking with purpose at Liberty First Credit.
About being a member at libertyfirstcu.com. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. NCUA.
We've been a little spoiled with a mild winter so far, but the snow is here and it's time to take care of your car. Stop by your local Rocket Car Wash to remove dirt and salt buildup and protect your vehicle from winter weather wear. Visit us at our 2 area Rocket Car Wash locations for a quick, quality clean every time. If your car's interior is dealing with winter weather, check out Express Detail Tunnel at our location, 3830 RocketWash.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come Bill Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carpet. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Shopping made easy every day at Oak Street Carpet. 1732 Oak Street, family owned and operated, always the best value.
Finally, a good reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. Does it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions.
Attention all Wings fans. Wings are back on Tuesdays at Buffalo Wings and Lincoln. Enjoy the best wings in town for bonus or traditional at a price that makes the whole family happy. And now with the Williamsburg Village Wings and Rings, you can enjoy $1.50 Tall Boys and Bud Light, Coors Light, Busch Light, and Michelob Ultra every day after 7 p.m. and all day on Sundays. Get to Wings and Rings today and make sure to stop by on Tuesdays for 89-cent wings.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet has never been easier than with the Venue at Home Healthy Living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered every week. All you have to do is eat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a subscription with the meals every week, designed to help you meet your dietary goals. Order your custom healthy meal package today at venueathome.net.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. By John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Showers possible, then clearing with a high of around 6. Will be windy, northwest gusting over 35 to 40. Climbing a low down to around 28. Will be increasing clouds tomorrow and cool with a high near 50. I'm your relative rise at 97 FM.com.
Back to the Ticket Weeknight. On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Ticket Weeknight. This is Power on We have Megan Walker, as always, special guest Davidson here from Nebraska Wrestling. Unfortunately, I had to pull the plug on his career due to injuries. But as he said, it's kind of the wrestler's life. It's like those sports, those fighting sports, boxing, UFC, wrestling. It's a real testament to how long you can last. Like even like the guys that make it that far, like especially in the UFC, I see it all the time, and it's like, please end your career. Like I don't want to see you just become this zombie later, like Muhammad Ali. Like down the road, like you could just see how beat up his brain was.
It's horrible.
And then even for wrestlers, like it's not so many head hits, but still, like all that grappling.
I mean, it still is. It really is.
That's true. I mean, you guys are
no, it actually isn't.
Not like punching,
fighting.
But you're still
hitting your head a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think wrestling is like one of the most taxing sports?
I'd probably say so.
Like more than football?
Yeah. Football, I mean, think about football. You get rest, every snap. Like football,
it's a team sport.
Yeah, it actually isn't that like grueling, honestly, conditioning wise. Like offensive line, yeah, probably more so. But, like if you're a wide receiver, you're not in every play. If you're, tight end, you're not necessarily.
Kicker,
yeah, like there's a lot of spots.
And think of a duration of the intensity at a time.
Mm-hmm.
How long? A match is like 2 minutes?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. I heard one of your coaches speak at an event I was at, and he said, like, I swear by this, but wrestling is the hardest sport, like mentally and physically.
I'm sure. I mean, I'm a little biased. Might agree a little bit. Also, I think swimming is crazy, but
see, like as a track athlete, I think track is the hardest. So like I feel like
sure
every sport thinks that their sport is the hardest. Like football players totally say, like, oh, football is the worst.
I will say, like, the drills you do in football are way more grueling than like any of the games. When wrestling, I feel like the workouts are brutal, but the match is going to be just as brutal. It's like it's still 7 just taxing minutes.
It's all on you.
Yeah, like you said, not a team sport. Like that's kind of like with track. You show up as a team though, but
you're an individual. Like it's an individual and it's a team sport.
Same thing with swimming. Swimming's just gruesome because those. I mean, that's just I can't imagine swimming that much in a day.
Literally, like Little Mermaid.
Swimming's hard.
Have you ever wanted to like try another sport?
Yes.
What sport would you try?
I always wished I was doing something and I saw some middle schoolers playing hockey, and I immediately regretted my whole life that I didn't play hockey because it looked like football on ice.
It really does. You go to a live hockey game, it's just brutal.
Yeah, like the nature of it, it's kind of like edgy.
You ever
It's
go
fast.
to Lincoln Stars games here in Lincoln?
No, I haven't.
Oh, those are awesome. Because like you got to think too, the USHL, like yeah, it's not the NHL, but like I think there's a dude on the roster for the Lincoln Stars right now who's drafted by the NHL already. But you got to have a year at college, like 1 year college at least, and then you can go play for the NHL. It's all kind of weird, but like those guys are all like really solid players. Some of them are 16 years old, some of them are 23. You know, it's like
it's a cool sport.
Yeah, it's
Is
awesome
that like
to
a
watch.
taxing sport? I feel like it would be because you're like bumping into people all the time.
I mean, I've definitely gone skating. I'd imagine it's taxing. I don't know how those guys' ankles don't just hurt all the
Snap.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'll skate for a few hours, my feet are killing me by the end of it.
That's crazy. I know some girls like have a thing for hockey players. Like I don't know what it is. But yeah, it's just weird. That's what I think of when I think of hockey. Like the mullet.
Yeah,
It's just weird.
that is a big part of hockey.
They're kind of different.
They are.
They got their own thing going on.
They do.
It's dope though.
Like you meet hockey fans too, though, and they got their own thing.
They
Like,
got fights.
Yeah, they ain't watching
their sport.
football. They're all hockey. Like hockey fans are diehards.
The rules are surrounded protecting fights. You know, let fights happen. It's dope. I like it.
It's crazy. So your career just ended yesterday. So what's the plan for like the future?
Oh man, that's the question right now for me.
Real quick from the text line though, we do have Rico. I think he was in here last week.
Yeah, no, 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, Rico. He said, I played football, ran track, and wrestled. Wrestling is the worst.
Oh dang.
So you got multi-sport
Shout out
athletes.
I might need to
coming.
try that. Just go out for wrestling. I always wanted to wrestle, but like in
I
my
never
school,
did.
There was never an option. That's crazy.
Dude, it's becoming a thing.
The hardest thing with wrestling though is like where do you go after your collegiate career? Because unless you're like a Jordan Burroughs and you can go to the Olympics, like it's kind of unless you know more. Like are there more avenues? It's like kind of seems like Olympics or
It's limited.
it's over.
It's limited. It's tight.
Yeah,
And it's hard. And it's usually like if you want to get into that and you're not a Jordan Burroughs, which everyone else isn't,
yeah,
you got to train for years just to try to break through the door
yeah.
just for 1 year. And it's knowing some guys that are doing that, it's a long, brutal road, and you got to be built for it.
Yeah, and like you said, the money for wrestlers isn't coming in the same way as if you're an NBA, caliber player. It's just a way different avenue.
Yeah, because it's not popular like that. It's not like easy to watch like that. It's not easy to understand like that.
I wonder if that's a big part of it because even like the rules for how wrestling score change a lot.
Well, yeah.
So like as a normal fan, like if you're not 100% plugged in, that's what bothers me the most with wrestling. Is if I'm not reading the new rules every year, I can watch a match and not know what the hell's going on. So I'd be like, why is like they'll change? You can explain this. Like I think this year didn't they change some of the rules? Obviously the beard thing.
They come out
but
with their rule
point
changes
system.
every year. Every year.
How do you deal with that as a
NCAA.
wrestler?
I go look up the NCAA rule changes because you kind of got to know.
Yeah, it's got to be hard though to break old habits. Like if you've been doing something that all of a sudden
That's wrestling. Think on the fly.
That's
You
true.
gotta be like that. You have to.
I
Ready to adjust.
I think that's the biggest problem. It's like the rules are really hard to follow if you're a casual fan, and then again, there's no professional wrestling avenue after college.
Yeah.
And even in the Olympics, they're kind of shortening the wrestling a little bit, which
Yeah.
surprises me.
Well, they try to get rid of it.
Yeah,
And they almost did.
which is insane to me how wresling would get taken out of the Olympics.
It's crazy.
I think the next one's in Japan though, so that'll be good because Japan.
Weren't they just in Japan?
Was that? Oh, I thought it was the next one. Oh, you're right. They were. They just came back from Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you're
thought-
right. Yeah, no, you're right.
No, yeah, because Simone Biles, she for reasons she couldn't compete there because of their rules.
Yeah. Which that one I was kind of let down. I thought Japan, they love fighting. Like that's just part of their culture, like sumo, wrestling. They love all that stuff. So that was a good one. But now it's just like I don't know what the route looks like for wrestling. Because it is a really awesome sport to watch, but again, there's no avenues unless you're watching college wrestling. I don't know what else you're gonna
Exactly.
unless you're watching WWE, which it's scripted. It's not it's
Yeah.
nothing the same.
Yeah. It's athletic actors.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Scott says you can go to the WWE, but again, it's like if you're a real wrestler, I can't imagine like you're thinking about doing WWE. Like that's just like an athlete.
If I was going to go to WWE, I need some acting classes.
Yeah, you got to be good on the mic. You got to do everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Phil's got so much now that he's great at something. That's gonna be big. It's gonna be like the Olympics, aren't you?
Yeah, but it won't be like sports, maybe.
If you had to go to WWE, what's the name? You got to have a great name.
Big Baby Kale.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
his Instagram handle.
Big Baby?
Yeah.
Big baby.
That's hilarious.
Big Baby Kale.
That would work.
That would go.
Yeah.
I'd probably go with that.
Why that? Such a weird like.
It's weird.
Well, like
you call me weird?
No, when you first followed me on Instagram like a hot minute ago, like what was the thought behind username?
All my family. I remember my family always calling me. You know, when you have those good childhood memories. They used to call me Baby Kale because I'm the oldest of my siblings, of my cousins.
And you're from?
I was the firstborn.
Where are you from again?
Wichita, Kansas.
Wichita, Kansas.
So they used to always call me Baby Kale, and my aunts still do, and I don't know. It reminds me of like childhood memories.
That's weird to you, Megan?
Okay, I didn't know like the whole backstory. I didn't know if it was just like a name he liked. But yeah, like I would never do my childhood name as my Instagram handle.
What is your Instagram handle?
To each his own.
My Instagram handle is Megan Walker.
Okay.
Because that's my name.
So creative.
Hey, no one else has the same one. So, what's your Instagram handle?
Harrison Arns, I think.
Oh, nice, very creative.
I'm pretty sure it's I use that for everything though, because like a lot of, especially how many logins you have now. It's so nice to have the same username for everything.
And I feel like if you're trying to like stalk someone or look someone up, like it's just like easy if they have their name in it. Like if I'm looking for Kale on Instagram, I have to go through a lot of things.
I'm low key.
You are low key, very,
I'm low
very
key.
private.
But that being said, though, we are against the clock already. We got one more segment left. Kale Davidson, Megan Walker, Harrison Arns on 93.7 The Ticket, Speed and Power. We'll be back right after this break.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to Oak Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at Oak Street Carpet.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 Oak Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Lose fat, build muscle, gain endurance. Whatever your goal, Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping can help you achieve it. Farrell's offers group fitness for all levels in a welcoming environment. Their proven method combines kickboxing, cardio, and strength training to get you in the best shape of your life. You've heard all about their 10-week challenges, but you can join as a member anytime. Head to fxspeedlincoln.com to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill, and now in the Meadowlands Shopping Center at 70th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL Weather, sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
A few showers possible early this morning and clearing with a high of around 56. It will be windy over 35 to 40. Mainly clear, a low down to around 28. We'll see increasing cloud cover tomorrow and cooler with a high near 50. I'm meteorologist Ryan Bryant, 97 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome to Lincoln State Hoops fans. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill at 10th and P is your go-to spot for the small town feel in the middle of Lincoln's downtown area. Come enjoy great food and great drinks for lunch or dinner and before or after any game at Rosie's. 10th and P.
Sandhills Global is hiring. Check out sandhills.jobs for more information. Sandhills is looking to fill hundreds of new openings in sales, traveling support, software development, web design, and more. Sandhills has a professional culture and is fast-paced with a focus on growth, innovation, and leading-edge technologies. Career and internship opportunities are available at our global headquarters in Lincoln, Nebraska. Apply today at sandhills.jobs.
Meeting your goal of having a healthy diet season with a venue at home healthy living subscription. Chef-inspired meals that are health conscious and delivered right to your door every week. All you have to do is eat and eat. We offer delicious entrees, gluten-free pastas, fresh rice bowls, soups, salads, and more. Build your own package as a meals every designed to help you meet your dietary goal. Order your custom healthy meal package today at BenuetHome.net.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make me go wow, say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great.
We're definitely coming back.
Sutter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SutterHeyman.com.
Hey guys, this is Lindsay Steele from Nebraska Golf Team. Imagine golfing the best courses in the world. St. Andrews, Pebble Beach, Southern Hills, the best of the best. You can play those courses and more without ever leaving the city of Lincoln at Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle has the city's best golf simulators, 5 high-quality bays that track ball speed, launch angle, club speed, spin rate, and more to give you the most accurate gameplay. Check it out for yourself year-round. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
Finally, a great reason to have a smart house. Just say, Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket, and we'll magically start playing. How's it work? Nobody knows. Don't ask questions. Back to the Ticket Weeknights on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. I am Harrison Arns here with Megan Walker and Cale Davidson from Husker Track and Wrestling on Speed and Power. And again, we do have high school basketball later today. We're going to have Nick Sainer on the call at 7 p.m. We got Lincoln East and Lincoln Southwest for their district finals. So if you want to stay tuned in for that one, that'll take place here shortly as well. But to kind of wrap it up here, and again, we got one more from the text line. Rico says, great show, y'all. Megan, you sound like a pro. Harrison, you're okay. Kyle, you sound like or Cale, excuse me, you sound like you've done this many a time. So shout out Rico.
Shout out to Rico. This is amazing. Hey, one question for you. Are you ready for this? This is like a loaded question.
Yeah.
All right. If you had a billboard put up in Lincoln, Nebraska, what would your billboard say? Everyone can see this. Think about it.
So you're not marketing anything?
You're not
This is just
marketing
for fun?
anything. This is just like Cale can put it on a billboard.
Is your food not poison
That's what you're putting on your billboard?
or food? 80% of the grocery store is poisonous.
That'd freak a lot of people out.
It would, as it should. 80% of the. Sorry to get all heavy on you right now, but it's over 80%. Just look at the ingredients on any food that you grab at the store.
Are you like specifically talking like processed foods? or,
Hyper
like-
processed synthetic food that is not real, that is man made, and that causes dementia, causes stress, causes cancer.
Is this something that you've always had in mind, or is this as a wrestler you've slowly understood these things?
Well, wrestling definitely speed tracked it because you have to be so strict with your diet to feel better because of kind of how hard it is. But also, with people in my family getting sick and people I know getting sick and myself, and with the existence of dementia and how that's a new thing in humanity in the past 100 years, and how it's been proven that dementia is not inevitable if it runs in the family. It is 100% preventable through the food that you eat
Dang.
That's good knowledge.
and the lifestyle you live.
That is good to know. I didn't know that about dementia.
Yeah, it's not hopeless, like they like to say.
Well, then it's a newer thing too.
It's brand new.
That is crazy.
I would like that on a billboard. If I saw that and like I could look into it, I would be.
Well, I probably show like some statistics so it didn't look crazy, because that would look crazy.
Yeah.
So someone would be like, oh, so it would relate to them that, oh, this is real, like some statistic or I don't know, something that most people can relate with.
I can believe that though. 'Cause I will say, like, and I think people are becoming more and more aware of like what we're putting into our body.
Just literally in the past year.
Yeah. Well, the microplastics thing's coming alive too. Everyone's like, wait, we have plastic? Like we all just have a little bit of plastic and all our, like that's kind of, it's not great. Doesn't sound great.
Doesn't sound too good.
No. Like you said, like we're running into new health problems that we might have created.
Mm-hmm.
because it's cheaper to make it with processed items. So again, appreciate you guys listening. Again, for last comments you want to get in here, Sartor Hamann text line 402-464-5685. Megan, what would you do if you had a billboard? What are you putting on there?
You know, I never thought about it. I feel like I ask people this question all the time, but like, generic thing to put on a billboard. Probably be like "You Are Loved" or something. Like it'd be something really basic.
Oh, just be nice.
Yeah, just be like a nice thing.
Judge less, love more.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I would totally put that. That was a good idea. You just got all the billboard ideas.
Boom.
Oh my god, what would you put on?
I don't know. I'd want to make it funny.
Funny.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want people to like look at it a little too long.
Maybe I'd put a joke. Right? Okay, I got a joke. Is everybody ready for this? Okay, what's the number one cause for dry skin?
No lotion.
What?
Said no lotion.
No lotion.
Oh, no lotion. Okay, no. Do you have a guess?
No.
It's towels. But get it? Funny?
Yeah,
that's
a
a sympathy laugh. That's not a
dad
real
joke.
laugh.
Nah, I appreciate a good dad joke.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that one or what you said. That was good.
Oh, man, I can't think.
Listen to Harrison on 93.7 The Ticket.
Boom, there you go. Just plug
Yeah.
my Twitter handle and all that.
Oh yeah, Instagram handle. Perfect. Set for life.
Yeah, I'm really just not a fan of billboards though in general, to be honest. Like they make cities really ugly in a hurry.
Yeah, I don't think they work too good. I mean, it's a place with a message there. I don't really look at billboards though.
I know some cities are now making like laws to get rid of billboards on top of like buildings or certain buildings because it allows those businesses to like hide all the bull crap behind the billboard, and it's just like a mess to try to clean up cities.
I can see that.
Yeah, because you look behind billboards, it's usually a mess. It's like disgusting back there. With that being said, that we do got to get going. I appreciate Kale stepping in as Megan Walker as well. We got some high school basketball up next right here on 93.7 The Ticket with Nick Sandern on the call. Be sure to stay tuned in for that one, and Husker Bowlers as well from 9 to 10. So full night of Ticket weeknights ahead. Appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the rest of your Monday.
Woo!